Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this information session that you're having about the articulation program between KU University and Macquarie University in translation and interpreting studies, and in particular, an articulation towards the postgraduate courses that we offer here at Macquarie University. My name is Mark Orlando. I'm a professor of translation and interpreting studies, and I'm the director of the translation and interpreting program at Macquarie. I'm, like many of my colleagues here in the program, I'm a researcher and a trainer in translation and interpreting. I am also a conference interpreter. I've been working in the field for 25 years plus in different countries and different places. I've also been training translators and interpreters for more than 20 years, also in different countries and for different contexts. So anyway, this is great to have an opportunity to talk to you. I understand you are going to hear today about what is on offer, what is possible, how it works. In a nutshell, I will not go too far. You would, if you decide to do this course, you would enroll for one semester at KU, where you will complete a few units that will be recognized as prior learning at Macquarie University, and would allow you to join us in the second semester of our degrees here. Our degrees are either in translation and interpreting, where you would be trained, as a translator and an interpreter for different types of context and work opportunities. We also have a more specialized course that you can undertake in the second year of the degree, which is a conference interpreting master, which is specializing exclusively on international meetings, conference interpreting in long consecutive and simultaneous interpreting to work at the highest level, as I said, of international conferences and so on. So yeah, these are possibilities. So at Macquarie, we have a program which is going more and more towards some specific specializations. The reason for that is that, as you know, and as I'm sure you have heard everywhere, there are lots of progress that are done by technologies, whether it is what we call machine translation or neural machine translation, or whether it is AI and large language models. So what these things do and what these things mean for our profession is the following. It is not at all contrary to what people think or say, not at all the death of our professions. No. What these technologies help us to do is to gain in efficiency, in productivity, and every training program that I know, and I know quite a few around the world, have the same thing to implement now, which is to find a way to integrate the use of technologies in the way we train translators and interpreters, to make sure that the future professionals know exactly how to enhance, if you want, their practice and their practices in both translation and interpreting. So the way we do that is that we tend to use machine translation and translation technologies for very generic tasks of translation, but we always add a human component to it. And this is how it is in the industry today. There is always a human component in post-editing, for example, for generic text. Now, for more complex text, or text for which there is a higher stakes, if you want, or a highest level of creativity, we need the human input absolutely from the start. And this is where human will not be replaced, or not in the near future. This applies to everything which is very creative, that we call transcreation in our field, or everything that relates to localization, marketing localization, games localization, software localization, all sorts of areas where you need to have a human who will make the right decision to adapt a product, a text, an image, or whatever that is, to a specific localized environment, culturally and linguistically. So these are the areas we really explore in the program. We are also very renowned for our work in audiovisual translation. So we do a lot in the area of accessibility and training our translators to use what we call AVT, so audiovisual translation. We have a few units for that. In interpreting, we also include the use of technology so that students know from the beginning how to use support, or what we call computer-assisted interpreting tools. So support in note-taking, support in terms extractions, in building glossaries, but also when you are practicing, maybe using some technologies like digital pens, like tablets, like different types of automatic speech recognition software that help the interpreter to identify some aspects of the text or of the speech, but can also, of course, still interpret and need to bring the human thing. I mean, interpreting is really an area where the nuances and the accuracy of the interpretation or the transfer is essential. And there are many nuances in terms of emotions, in terms of humor, in terms of empathy, you name it, depending on the different fields you can work in. So this is extremely important to recognize that, again, humans in these areas are essential. However, that would be completely irrelevant to ignore technologies, and we definitely do not ignore technologies. As I said, we embed technologies in our training, and this is why our courses have the benchmarks that you probably know. We are featured on the AIC, the International Association for Conference Interpreters directory. We are members of SUTI, the International Association of Programs Training Translators and Interpreters. We are endorsed by NAATI, our National Accreditation Authority here in Australia, for all our courses. So anyway, just simply to tell you this very briefly what you would do, and you would do most of your studies in the building behind me, which is the very beautiful library that we have at Macquarie. We have extremely well-equipped labs, both in translation and in interpreting, with all the technologies I mentioned before. Anyway, I'll stop here because I know I have little time. Again, I hope this is useful. I hope you will be, appealed to join this articulation program, this articulation agreement, and hopefully I will see you on our beautiful campus here in Sydney in the near future. So all the very best, and thank you very much.